Hi, welcome to Medieval Literature. I hope you're excited to be back. We're going to learn a lot of cool stuff this semester. You might be wondering why I'm making this video and why I look like I'm all propped up with pillows. That is because I had back surgery 5 days ago and I'm not in the best shape yet. I should be back, I think, by January the 16th is what I'm planning for. Now, let's get to go over some information about this course. The syllabus is on Squidgy on the main page. If you want to, you can pause this video right now and pull it up. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the entire course description or the course goals. I will talk about methodology. We will be reading literature from the medieval period, and it was a long, long time ago. And the literature that they wrote, if we read the actual works that were written, we wouldn't even be able to understand them. We need to take a course to learn it, even though it's Old English and Modern English. And I know so many times, and this is a pet peeve of mine, people will say, oh, Shakespeare's that Old English stuff. No, he's not. He's early modern English, believe it or not. There are two whole phases before him. So that's the reason we can understand most of Shakespeare, is because he's speaking in modern English. But we will read some stuff in Old English and in Middle English, and and I will play some Old and Middle English for you because it's kind of cool what it sounds like. Okay. What we will mostly do in class is I will read to you, or I might have occasionally asked people to volunteer to read. There will be opportunities to participate because I ask a lot of questions. So when there's an opportunity to participate, please participate because it's part of your grade. Just like, if you've had me in years past, it's the same. After 5 days of participation, I will take a grade. And if you've said nothing all week, but you look like you've been paying attention, you'll get a 10. And then for each day that you said something, you get a point added to that up to 5 days. So that would get you up to 15 out of 15. But if you're sleeping in class and clearly not paying attention, you aren't going to even get that 10. So make sure you are participating. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, the next page gives us all of the books, the textbooks that we're going to be reading. I have PDFs of all of the works that we're going to be reading, but I would really strongly encourage you to go ahead and get your own copy for two reasons. One, it will keep you from being distracted by your iPad. I know how you guys are. And two, it will support the translators of these works and protect their copyright. So I've basically stolen their works, okay, and they're not getting money for it. Now you may say they're old. What do they care? And yes, the original writers would copyright would definitely be not an issue, but for the people that translated them, it is an issue because they are still alive. So Beowulf, we're going to be reading a translation from Seamus Heaney, and Le Morte d'Arthur by Thomas Malory, but translated by Keith Baines. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is by an anonymous poet, and it was translated by Burton Raffel. And then Canterbury Tales is by Geoffrey Chaucer, but we're going to use the translation by Robert Lumiansky. There are lots of copies of Shakespeare out there. If you don't have the one that was translated by Robert Lumiansky, you're going to be lost. So you can either buy those books yourself. I have links to all of them on that sheet there that you can buy through Amazon. And maybe somebody from a previous class has had it. But what I would say, in my experience, most people just use the PDFs. Okay, what kind of assignments are you going to be having? Do, 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 do. Um, they'll consist of, a couple of worksheets. I'm not big on worksheets with seniors. You'll write a poem, you'll have a couple of projects, a presentation, and one 900-word essay, which will be at the end of the semester, and it basically encapsulates the entire semester. You'll also have several quizzes, or tests, or something between a quiz and a test. Uh, and those are usually on Schoology, or I put them on paper. We're not going to use Kia this year. Oh, I heard all that moaning. Okay. So what else? Another thing I want to remind you of is that when you are absent, you are responsible for figuring out what we did in class that day so that you can come to class prepared. I will post what we did that day as well as the homework on updates in Schoology under updates. It also should send you an email, so that'll be a good reminder for you too. I did also want to remind you about late passes. You're going to get 2 late passes per quarter, and what that means is that you can turn in anything, any short assignment up until the end of the quarter and get full points. An exception to this is like the big composition. That one is right at the end, so I have to have it by a certain day to know if you're going to have to take the exam or not. Okay. You can use a late pass with a composition, however, and it will buy you 2 days. If you don't use the late passes, then you will get a 1% bump in your grade for each one that you don't use. So you can get up to 2% bump. However, if you have any missing work, any zeros, no extra credit will be given. So don't do that. Make sure you get all of your work in. Okay, well, that pretty much gets us through the majority of the syllabus. You can look at it on your own another time, but those are the things that I really wanted you to know. So, if I were there, I would ask you, what does medieval mean to you? Or what do you think medieval is? Or what do you think of when you first hear the word medieval? But then I would hope that you would say things like, it means, that it was from long ago where there were knights and castles and, and that would all be correct. Jousting and tournaments. Yeah, we'll watch a movie that has that with it as well. You'll also get a few history lessons with this because, we're going to play around with heraldry and what's important about it, because then we're going to read a book where the shield is incredibly important to the character. So, things like that. Anyway, I guess I'll stop now, and I hope that you guys have a great semester, and I will see you on the 16th. Bye.